How's it going? I'm John Kuhn here. We are in beautiful central Wisconsin at the airport, about to board a flight with 98 veterans from the Korean and Vietnam War. I'm so excited to take this honor flight today to Washington, D.C. So come on, let's go honor America's freedom.
Proper terminology for Vietnam veterans is welcome home. So you can thank them for their service, but that would be Korea and World War II. Vietnam is primarily welcome home.
Minch. Here. Reed. Rail.
1912, somewhere around that time frame. On your left here is the Bureau of Engraving and Printing.
Throughout the state of Wisconsin, and with 133 honor flight hubs throughout the United States, children of this country will know the price of freedom and what you did. Thank you for your service, and God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Have a great day here at your memorials.
Specialist sports class, John Matthew was a big man with a big personality. Daddy kept so much about the war to himself. I know it was horrible. I know he was forced to do things that went against his nature. I never asked. He never told.
I'm here with Theodore Teddy Schmidt from the Korean War, and we're just going to have a little chat and see what some of his feelings are and some of his time that he spent in the Korean War.
In the summer of '53, I went to Korea, and of course, that was right when everything was ending, so I didn't really see much combat. I got out on a couple of patrols and things like that, but then everything was over. And all we had to do was clean up the mess. I think we were up in the mountains, up on some maneuvers, and we came across 6 or 7 bodies that were still lying up there. And that was a year after the war had ended. And of course, we brought them down. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, most of the time, what I did was guard duty, really.
Yeah.
We were up on the DMZ, we were up on the outpost and back in reserve, and then to the main line. Mm-hmm. So and that we rotated every 6 months, or every 6 weeks, rather. After the war was over, of course, we had some good times.
Was that kind of a different experience, being drafted, going to war, and then meeting people from all over the country?
Oh yeah, it was a lot to learn, a lot to experience, because everything was new. I was kind of nothing but a country bumpkin boy, you know. We went down the Fort Breckinridge in Kentucky. That's where we had our basic training. And I went to leadership school, and then after that we flew over to Korea. And I see these fellas in their ponchos and stuff like that. I said, that was me back there.
To be able to talk to you, get some of your perspective and some of your stories. I know it took a lot emotionally to come out here and be able to experience this stuff. So I'm going to let you get to your memorial, check it out, have a blast today, really soak it all in, and thank you so much for your service again.
You're welcome.
We're here in front of the Vietnam Memorial with Dennis Kromanaker, who served in Vietnam. Dennis, tell us a little bit about what you did when you went over there.
Well, I was a trained combat engineer, and I went over there as a demolition specialist at first, and our company used to build airstrips, cut LZs, and blow up tunnels and bunkers. Ended up with an infantry company, temporary assignment, and with C4, blow up the bunkers and look for stuff in bunkers, and then I got into tunnel rats. And how I got into that, I was a small guy and only weighed 125 pounds, and we run into this tunnel here, and all the infantry guys are standing there looking at me, and he said, they're looking at me, and I'm looking at them and said, oh, I know what you guys want. They want me to go in there, so that's how I got started doing that.
And how long were you a tunnel rat?
About 8 months. We went in all different kinds. Short ones, long ones, complexes that were like 5-6 stories deep.
Wow.
And one time we got lost. They cut our wire. We strung comma wire so we could find a way out, and they cut it. And it took us about an hour to find a way out. We heard them, but we didn't see them.
Yeah.
And but that was the extent that we were looking for military weapons and armament and documents so we could help the cause, I guess. Yeah. I was there for the Tet Offensive, and that was my first tour.
Okay.
Second tour, I was a gunner and a crew chief on a helicopter gunship. And we supported Navy gunboats in Mekong Delta all the way up to Cambodia. And a little story about Cambodia. We run into these people, they call them monograds, and I don't think they ever seen a white man before.
Oh, yeah.
They come and they touch your face, and my blonde hair at that time, and you know they haven't seen anybody.
I bet that was quite an experience, huh?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I see you scribed a name. Who is that you...
This is actually my wife's cousin. I didn't serve with him, but I wanted to get this for her.
How does that make you feel to be able to take that home to your wife?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, and I think she would like that, put it in her military scrapbook. So.
What kind of emotions did you feel when you saw this wall for the first time?
Oh, I get a little choked up. Because a lot of guys paid the ultimate. Yeah. But this is not all about me. It's about my dad. He was a World War II veteran. I'm here with my brother, who's also a Navy veteran, and this is for him too.
Dennis Kromanaker, Vietnam vet. Thank you so much, Dennis, for your
welcome.
service. I'm here with Gerald, Dvorak, and Richard Colburn, and they're going to tell us a little bit about their time spent in Vietnam. I'll start with you, Richard. Richard, tell me about what years did you serve over there?
I went over in 1967, and I came home in 1968. And I was there for the Tet Offensive, and at that time they were using the human wave, where they just get a couple thousand Vietnamese and try to overrun your perimeter, and that was the worst of the war, I think, was the human wave and the Tet Offensive.
How'd you get hurt?
Well, we were being overrun one night, And I don't know what happened. I fell and rolled, and somebody landed on my arm, and I got my hand and my wrist was broken. So I don't know really how it happened. It was like in the scariest part of the attack.
And Gerald, tell us a little bit about when you served.
Well, I was there from 71 to 72, according to my records, but according to everything you see, we were never there.
Okay.
I was with the 7th Radio Research Field Station, based very close to Vientiane, Laos, and we did a lot of Morse intercept, voice intercept, and we called in. We were able to get directional finds on a lot of the troop movements along the Ho Chi Minh Trail.
I was talking to another guy today. If we would have got a welcome home like we got the welcome today, we believe it would have changed our lives.
Wasn't that phenomenal?
Because when we come into like San Francisco or Oakland, we were spit on and threw pop bottles at us, and that had to mess us.
And who was that by?
That's the citizens of the United States.
Really?
Yeah.
Coming back from the war.
Yep. None of the hippies. The hippies were the only friends we had, because I think they were all buzzed up on something. I always said I didn't need no welcome home. You know, I'm here and I'm alive. But I think I did. I think I did need that. And the young people coming up to us here on the sidewalk and stuff, that just that chokes you up too. You know, I can't hold it back. You know, it's just, you know, we've never been treated that way.
Well, Richard and Gerald, I can't tell you how much this means for you guys to share a little bit of your memories, a little bit of your time here at the Vietnam Memorial, and I can't thank you enough for your service. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
We are now at the World War II Memorial with Duane, Big Dog Pupp, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his day so far. Duane, you've been to the World War II Memorial, you've seen the Vietnam Memorial, you've seen the Korean Memorial, a little tour of the city. What has really stuck out to you here in Washington?
I think what it does is it brings back to me people that I know that just suffered from the war. I have a brother that was never the same. He came home from Vietnam, but it was not the same Dave that went. Another local guy from Stratford never did come home. And that's the stuff that when I go there, that's what I think about, is those kind of guys, the local guys that I knew.
Does any of these stick out to you more than the other? Thinking about the Korean Memorial, some of the faces in the background of the memorial.
I think the Korean Memorial got me just because of the poignancy of the statues being there.
How does this welcoming that you're getting here compare to the welcomings that you may have gotten in the past?
I got discharged about 50 years ago. This is it. This is my welcome.
Yes.
Never had one, anything before. I came off the ship. changed to civilian clothes and went home. And I changed clothes right on Pier 12, right where I got discharged. And because of the anti-war feelings at that time. So they were pretty intense.
Is there anything about your time with the Navy that you can share with us? What ship you were on, what years you were there, what seas you were in, any in particular stories that stick out?
I flew aboard the Enterprise at Caen, France. The French Riviera is where I joined the ship in mid-tour. So I made 2 Mediterranean cruises, and then we made a world cruise, and part of which included Vietnam. So you're probably talking to the only guy that ever made a world cruise and never took a single picture. Everybody in the Navy is a buddy. So a buddy said, "Can I borrow your camera?" Well, he went up on the island, the superstructure on a carrier, and he was taking pictures of the nuclear-loaded airplane. They confiscated his camera, questioned him, questioned me. I made the rest of the cruise without a camera. So I made a world cruise and never took a picture.
Well, I can tell you, you really look like you're enjoying yourself here today. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and I cannot thank you anymore for your service. Duane Big Dog Pupp, thank you.
Oh, hey, you're welcome. This is wonderful.
We are here at the Marine Memorial with a Marine veteran himself, Arnold Putnam Jr. Arnold, tell us a little bit of what this day has meant to you.
It's meant the world to me because we can come out here and it's like, to me, it's like a healing process, John. You know, because us Marines are guys like you. We're tough guys, do the dirty work and get very little recognition as Marines, you know, and Vietnam veterans. And come to see this iconic memorial, it's just something that warms my heart, you know. This monument here is the United States Marine Corps. It is the Marine Corps. It's what they stand for. Going, taking the high ground, and they did what had to be done. And that's, I'm beholden to the people like that.
Tell us a little bit about where you served and when.
Well, I was in Vietnam. I was at a place called Khe Sanh. We had 2 choppers there, in Dong Ha and the A Shau Valley, which is the northernmost part of South Vietnam. It was probably one of the nastiest spots too. And I had the pleasure to serve with many, many brave Marines.
Yes. What was your job?
I was at 7041 Aviation's Operations. Then I was a machine gunner on a chopper because everybody in our outfit flew machine gunners, whether they wanted to or not. Yeah. There's something you had to do.
That's interesting, huh? Everybody was on the same level. That's what you're saying in the Marines. Everybody
enlisted then, yeah.
Yeah.
Then the officers were the pilots, and they flew also. So we had 30 choppers, and we only had crews for 24 of them. So we had every day somebody had to be out there doing the job.
Wow, fantastic stuff. What is today as a whole meant to you? Getting off the plane, getting the reception at the airport that you guys got, getting to meet some of the young kids.
8, 10, 12-year-old kids come up and shake your hand, and they meant it. They smiled at you, and they said thank you, and they had a smile on their face. And when we come through some of these places, people just stand and clap, you know. And it meant the world to you, like you really did something good, you know. Really did something good.
We're gonna let you take a walk around, enjoy this by yourself, but I cannot thank you enough. Arnold Putnam Jr., Marine vet right here. Thank you so much for your service and thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kuhn. There you go, buddy.
Here we are at the Air Force Memorial with Gene Rail, Vietnam War veteran, Naval
and Air Force.
Naval and Air Force. Give us a little bit about what you did in Vietnam.
Now, over there we did amphibious assault beach landings up and down the coast from Quy Nhon, Chu Lai, Phu Bai, and Da Nang, all up in the northern part near the just southern DMZ. And we did a lot of amphibious assault landings with Marines, U.S. Army, and also in October of 1965 we transported the Korean Tiger Division to ROK Korean Tiger Division, 2,000 troops from Busan to Korea, and we did a landing there at Quy Nhon.
And how did you meet the pilot of the Enola guy?
After some years, I put myself through school nights working as a machinist and got into law enforcement. And I was always interested in aviation, and especially World War II. And I thought I'd probably set out to find him, and I did. And it kind of bothered him how I found him. But I told him it was good police work, and he actually invited me to come to his home at that time in Columbus, Ohio, and I did. That was in July of 1996. So I spent about a day and a half with him, and what an amazing man he was.
So you clearly have a lot of pride in your days with the Navy and the Air Force. What has today been like for you?
I was totally shocked when we got here to Washington and all those people in the airport. That blew me away.
Yeah, what was that reception like?
I don't know, but I almost shed a tear. It got to me.
You're allowed to. How did that compare with the reception you received yourself coming home from Vietnam?
No, there was no reception. People, when we got released from active duty, they just went home. Most of them probably even took off a uniform, put on civilian clothes.
Do you feel like today was a long time coming?
It was nice.
Yes.
It was very nice. And I was really taken back by all the young kids that come up to you and shook your hand. I just wouldn't think that they would even know anything about stuff like that. But, you know, there isn't a whole lot of patriotism anymore. And I mean, that was an honorable thing years ago when we were young to go into service. And if you didn't join, you probably got drafted anyway, so.
I can tell you from talking to you, you are the consummate patriot. And I would love to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the service that you have given this country.
Thank you very much.
Gene Rail, Navy and Air Force veteran. Here we are at the end of an outstanding day, from the World War II Memorial to the Vietnam Memorial and more. Many, many stories, many, many smiles, many, many great memories with these veterans. Now here we are at the DC airport, about to board and go back to central Wisconsin, where these veterans have one more surprise left in store. So let's board the plane and go check it out. Come on.
We figured that your day on the honor flight would not be complete until you had an honor flight mail call. Special. On this flight only. Your mail call, Platoon Sergeant, is 250. Mr. John Pupp, would you front and center, please?
Frank Yanko Jr. Peter Pennington. Robert Lindau. Gerald Jerry Dvorak. Thomas Munch.
Here you go, bud. Thank you, sir.
92 Vietnam vets and 6 Korean vets. Let's welcome them.